Yo, what's good, man? Cigar Rock here, man. Chillin', man. Yo, watching Champagne.
What's up, y'all? This is Big Meth right here. And y'all watching Champagne.
Stand up, it's your boy Sheik Luch, LOX, D-Block, man. Champagne TV, you already know. I'm gonna be hosting like game shows and shit on that shit.
What's up? This is your girl, Digga, birth name Rashia, and you are watching Champagne.
This is Red, man. I'm in the building. You already know. Shout out to the Champagne Room Radio Show, baby.
Y'all, this is Can't Go Kick from legendary rap group UTFO. And what you're doing right now is you're checking out the Champagne Room Radio Show. You heard?
Yo, this your boy Chris Ock from the old 50 Boy. And when I'm out chillin', I'm chillin' at the Champagne Room Radio with Tanya Champagne, getting it in Brick City style.
Yeah, what's up? This Trigger Trench here. Nip, Naughty Nation, Naughty by Nature doing it. Yo, you better check out the Champagne Room, cause we doing over my mama T. Yo, and it's gonna be real on and poppin', yo. Ask somebody, yo. Can't take you nowhere, that's why I take your ass everywhere. Tune in.
Welcome to the Champagne Room. Relax, I got you. Have you ever closed your eyes and gone to a special place in your mind? Can I take you there? Relax, let down your guard, unwind. It's been a long day and I know you deserve to feel good. So let's sip some champagne and take away the day before I make you feel like you should. Baby, I just wanna welcome you, welcome you. Baby, I just wanna welcome you to the Champagne Room. Every Thursday from 7 to 9, 7 to 9. I'll be waiting for you, just come inside, come inside. Tonight, we can drink and drive on some red lights. Tonight, we can drink and drive on some red lights. And champagne, champagne, go, oh, champagne, champagne, go,
My baby, my baby, my baby. What a lady, girl. You're like a wine, you get better with time. Got your knee along, all this your soul, you're so fine. From everything that you wear, your kind of beauty is rare. And I swear you get better looking with every year. I'll picture sexual peak, your full figure physique. Young girl can't compete, come cooking something to eat, baby. And since we in the kitchen, girl, let me get that muffin. You look down at the order you get.
Can't believe what time, girl, you're getting better. Looking like a picture of before and after.
The story gets more pretty every chapter, getting more attractive.
Aging a factor. The young one that I got, I'm about to leave her. Berry sitting on the vine with time to speed her.
If I could be your man, girl, you won't want for nothing. You look better before the year. You really need to let me in your world, girl. What a pro girl. No cougar, you're still a kitten. You working out, girl, shut your mouth, you looking thicker. You know how to hold your liquor. You can show me your ID, I get the picture. I propose that those players raise your glass. From my biblical boxes to my Stacy Dash. Ladies, it's Thanksgiving, and I'm about to eat that stuffing. You look better, the older you get. I can't believe what time,
girl, you're getting better. Looking like a picture of before and after.
The story gets more pretty every chapter, more and more attractive.
Aging a factor. Young one that I got, I'm about to leave her. Berry sitting on the vine with time to speed
reason. Appetite pleasing, enough to sink my teeth in. If I tell them how good you love me, they wouldn't believe me. I can't believe the time, looking like a picture. This story gets more pretty every chapter, more and more attractive.
Someone that I got, I'm about to leave her, sitting on the fire.
If I could be your man, you'll never want for nothing.
Only you
can believe with time.
With time, girl, you're getting better. Looking like a picture of a actor. Age ain't a factor. Someone that I got, I'm about to leave her, sitting on the vine for time to sweet her. You look better, only you can.
We are here with my girl, Shani Stevens. Excuse the lateness and the technical difficulties, just trying to get things together. is a little hectic up in here right now because I don't even have to go through all of that, but you guys already know. Again, it's your girl Tanya Champagne. You're tuned into the Champagne Room Radio Show on GS Radio North with your girl Shani Stevens. She's in the building. She's the writer of the creator of A Sub in the Brick City. I'm going to put the camera on her, and we are going to give Shani some applause. Thank you for all of the things that you do, because you do a lot. You do a lot that a lot of people may not know, and a lot of people may know and don't give you your props for. But you do a lot, and I definitely appreciate you being here. So here on the Champagne Room Radio Show, we start from the very beginning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you what started you off being, what made you feel like writing was something that you wanted. You know what? Let's go to Tina. Let's go to Tina. Tina, I forgot Tina was on the phone. Let's go to Tina and let Tina talk. Oh, yeah. Tina Jet is on the line. Guys. Hey Tina, how are you, sweetie? Great. We pressed our way, right? Tina, you want to explain your role in the Sub in the Brick City, how you became a part of it, and what you're currently doing now?
Yeah, so I became a part of this because I'm actually my manager, which definitely has its perks sometimes. So she heard about the casting for A Sub in the Brick City. I forgot where too, but so pretty much, I did my little audition and everything. I got the part, which was good, and then
we pulled you right down here into North, and it was different because you're from a totally different area, and we just threw you right out there on location, right?
Yeah, so it was good because it was a lot of method acting, really being actually in the environment, which was great. We were in different parts of Newark, New Jersey, and we pretty much, we filmed the scenes. It was great. My role, I particularly was, I was a bad girl, pretty much. I ended up being a dropout from high school, and I had to support myself, by selling drugs on the street in order to basically survive. So it was a very different role. So, but in a good way. I loved it.
Tina, to all the people that don't know what method acting is, can you explain what that is, method acting? Because we got a lot of people here watching that are pursuing acting, just started, or just are generally curious.
Yeah, so method acting is pretty much when you, I guess for everyone it can be a little different, but when I say method acting, I mean when you actually get put into an environment. Like if you're supposed to be like in the countryside, when you actually go to the countryside and you kind of like maybe just, browse around the area, try to see how people live, people act, people talk, walk, that kind of stuff, just so you can actually get into your role more. Method acting for me for this movie was when I, got to different places in Newark, kind of studied how people who live there kind of act, because it is different than where I live in Connecticut. So that's what method acting means.
And we know different, being in one environment in North, there are different classes of people and characters. There's a lot of good people that come from North as well. And hopefully one day when I film this whole movie, you will get to see the positive stories that came out of it as well. Tina?
Yeah. How am I supposed to answer that? I thought I was
So you want to talk about what you're doing now?
Yeah, sure. I'm just, overall, I'm trying to keep myself busy as best I can, but right now I have something that I'm actually starting to shoot on Saturday, so it's definitely exciting. It's for a vampire feature film I wrote, and I wrote that over 3 years ago. So it's definitely been a long time coming for me. I'm definitely grateful that I get to do this. You know, my mom, she's putting a lot of money into it, and I'm getting donations, which is great. It's called Saving You, Saving Me. So everyone can find the fan page on Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, we start shooting on Saturday. I'm going to be playing the lead, and I'm also going to be acting in it, and directing, and it's just, and I wrote it, obviously, and it's going to be great. So I'm still looking for extras, so if anyone wants to...
Hey, I might help you out. That's how I started.
Right? Awesome.
I started off as an extra. Tina, you can put one of those vampire capes on me. I already got the black.
Yeah. yeah. But it's pretty modern, I would say. It's not the normal vampire look.
Well, don't give all your secrets away. Don't give all your secrets away.
So when is that actually going to take place?
Wait, I'm sorry?
When does that actually take place?
It takes place like now. So now. Which makes a lot of things a lot easier.
Treasure just said vampire teacher. She's off the hook. Now, isn't Treasure in this project as well? Treasure from a Suburban of Brick City?
I don't know. I'm definitely like talking to her, but I don't know. I hope so though. I definitely would like her to be in it.
Heard that, Treasure.
Sure,
you better be there Saturday.
Yeah, but we start shooting Saturday, so exciting.
Nice.
I'm definitely gonna stop by.
Nice. So what are you guys going to be doing? Because you said you're doing another project right now, right, Shani?
I'm kind of keeping it a little low key, but I will be starting something up really soon. I've cast a lot of it already with some people I've personally talked to, some actors I know.
Okay.
And I hope you all will like it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Very good. So Tina, is your mom? She's I know she's your agent, but is she also a actress as well? Did she act?
Oh, like you put a camera on her, like she'll run away. That's how. That's how much she looks like the camera. She likes to be behind, try to help however she can for whoever.
Okay.
So yeah, she's really a behind the scene person. Definitely not in front.
Right.
She's shy, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're trying to get someone else is actually trying to call in as well. So I mean, if nothing else, Tina, we definitely appreciate you calling in. You are an awesome young lady, an awesome talent, and I remember when you guys first came to when I was just a radio personality. But now I'm more than just a radio personality.
That's right. Shout out to Tanya, the lovely Miss Lady Champagne, for giving us our very first, let me tell you, Suburban of Brick City first radio interview began with compliments of the lovely Tanya Champagne. She's the first person ever that interviewed us on the radio.
Yes, ma'am. And it was definitely my pleasure. So is there anything else that you want us to know, Tina, before you go, sweetie?
No, I think I said everything. Just thank you. The only thing I left is thank you for definitely letting me call in. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We would have loved for you to have been here, though, but
I know.
We know.
Car.
It's okay.
Car. I gotta get a new one for real.
Everybody having some car trouble, trust me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna have to get you down here eventually. Eventually we'll get you down here so you can sit in the hot seat.
And she's rising up. You won some awards for some of your films, right, Tina?
Yeah, I won some awards.
She's got some other stuff. You better represent here to talk about it.
I guess I don't talk about just so, I don't know. I guess for me, I just want to look for the future. I just want to keep, making stuff and hopefully get some more awards,
Don't do it. It's lonely at the top, like when you're up there getting your Emmys and stuff. Remember, you started with a sub in a brick city.
Yeah, I started with a lot of stuff. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds. I feel like that's all I can say,
That's what's up. Very good. So we are gonna continue the rest of the interview. We'll play some music. You guys don't get to really hear the music unless you're on the Ustream, unless you're actually watching the Ustream live. And so Facebook Live, you don't really get the the music, but the music portion of it, I probably can pull out the. I probably can let you guys hear a little something.
Music
but
is nice.
yeah, just a little bit. But right now we just want to thank you, Tina, again for calling in. We definitely appreciate you again, guys. That's Miss Tina Cheddar, and she was the bad girl.
Isha.
The bad girl in the sub in the Brick City. Definitely not that child. The character that she portrayed, that's definitely not her. But she did an awesome job. So we're proud of you. We're proud of you. Thanks for calling in.
God bless Tina. Thank you again.
All right, sweetie. Talk to you later.
So long.
Yes, that's a beautiful thing.
We had another caller.
Yeah, they hung up.
Whoever that last caller was, please call back.
Yeah,
you just called during the interview, so we couldn't answer.
You guys can call back. So Shani, when I guess I was asking you prior to Tina calling in. Well, I guess what I really want to know is when did you decide that you were a writer? When did you feel that writing was something you wanted to do? Oh wow.
Not to sound corny or like melodramatic, but when I was very young, like around 5 years old, I wrote my first play in my grandmother's basement, because in my grandmother's basement, that's where all my aunt and uncle and my dad's college books were. So the first play I ever read was Romeo and Juliet. Half of it was Romeo and Juliet, half was West Side Story. And I saw the play forms of both, and I just became very fascinated. And first of all, I think it's a gift from God, and it's definitely a gift that's been passed down from my mother. Okay. Because when my mother was 16, my mother, she traveled with Amina and Amiri Baraka.
Okay, my
right?
godparents.
Yes, right here in Newark.
Right.
I think it's called 502 602 High Street. This was I'm a red, black, and green diaper baby.
Yes,
you might as
so
well
am
say.
I. So am I.
So they was at the High Street location and traveling with Mr. and Mrs. Baraka, doing those plays and poetries and some very controversial, very conscious, hot things addressing our, the struggles of our people at that time, coming out the late 60s and 70s. And my mom even mentioned one time, Mr. Baraka, they would just put these plays up, anywhere. And I think they were somewhere in the projects in New York one time, and they had this stage they just threw up, and they got up on the stage, and the people from the projects was like throwing rocks and bottles and stuff at them. But they were like, hey, the show must go on. And they continued,
Right.
So it's definitely that, that background I do come from with my mother, as far as her being a writer and a poet and an actress, too. She is. So.
Okay.
Gotta give credit to those, before. So I think it was just like in the DNA, as they say.
That's right. You always gotta give.
It's
You always gotta give homage. You always have to make sure you give homage to those who paved the way, because none of us got to where we were without them doing what it is that they did. So
and they really risked their lives for the art at that time, because you're coming out of the civil rights movement.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
even putting up those plays and doing those controversial, conscious poems was really dangerous for them, but they still, went on.
Well, growing up around them and seeing that and being a part of African Free School and being a part of the organization and everything itself, believe me, I know how
I believe it's Mrs. Baraka that started daycare, I want to say, right? Or preschool or luncheon schools.
Well, I know we had the African Free School. I'm not sure if she actually started the whole daycare thing, but I know we had it there. Yeah. Where all of the people that was a part of the organization, their children were so we were kind of bad though. Me and Raz, well, you guys, Mr. Mayor.
Shout out to the mayor of Newark.
Yeah, we were bad, but we were sweet kids and very disciplined. Very disciplined. Coming from that era, you had no other choice but to be disciplined. And to be positive, because everything that they did was definitely about our people, definitely about community. Yeah. So it's been instilled in me, since the beginning of time as well. So when it's a part of you, it's not work. When it's your passion, it's not work. When you love doing it, it's not work. So this is something that I love to do. So it's never a bother for me. It can be a bit overwhelming sometimes, but when it comes to loving what it is that I'm doing, I definitely do. And I guess the overwhelming part comes with other people. When it comes from other people, it really does. Because if it's just me, I don't have to, I'm good. But the attitudes and the negativity and all of that stuff that kind of comes in. So when that's that 6454 number that.
Oh, that might be Alabama. That might be Linda calling from Alabama.
Oh yeah, they can call 6453 now. Yes, they probably don't know that. Yes, you guys can call 900-6453. That's area code 973-900-6453. You guys can call that number now. That's the number Tina Jetta just called in on. And you guys can speak with Shani, raise whatever questions, just show some love or whatever it is that you want to do. Just call and say hello to the station. It doesn't matter, but, yeah, that right there. So, Shani, you can, I'm going to kind of let you take over from now. I'm going to answer the phone.
Okay, it's about to. Hello to everyone. I see we have some more people watching. We are getting ready to have some more callers. I also would like to encourage those who are advocates, survivors, or want to mention someone maybe that did not survive domestic violence, want to call up and mention the memory of that person. I am a domestic violence survivor. A lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, what, you? But yeah, yes, me. And I think one of the ways to help that situation is to, you got to let people know, what you've been through in order to help other people. And in talking with a lot of ladies and a lot of research I've done in terms of domestic violence, because in the film you can see the type of relationship I was in when I was teaching. If y'all see that scene in the car, you'll know what I'm talking about. And one lady had said to me, she said, you know what it is about domestic violence? You know why women don't talk? You know why women get killed? Is because domestic violence is embarrassing.
Right.
And, and that, it's strange to say that, but it's like nobody wants to know that someone they care about, they love, is abusing them.
That's true.
And it could not only be just physical, it could be mental. It could be something simple as somebody just taking your car keys and saying you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, yes, there are some men that are victims too. I do acknowledge that. Absolutely. I don't think as many of y'all as it is us. I hate to say that. I don't mean to be biased, but there are men that, there are some abusive women out there as well.
There really are.
And it has been occurring in all different types of, relationships,
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to call in and discuss that, or
well, we have a caller on the phone right now. Welcome, caller.
Hello.
1 second.
That's like Treasure.
1 second. We can't hear you for some reason.
Where's all my Philadelphia people at, by the way?
Let's see.
Give me some Philly calls. I don't see none of y'all up here tonight.
There we go. Welcome, caller.
How y'all doing? This is Treasure. How you doing?
Treasure, always there for everyone. She never let nobody down. Every project.
I try.
Very reliable.
I try.
What's good, Treasure? What's good? So you called to speak about your role in the sub in the Brick City?
You said let's see about my goals.
I said, did you call to speak about your role in the movie?
Oh.
Or were you going to talk about the domestic violence part, or well, actually both, right?
Well, I know a lot of people that are getting that now. They're going through that now. A lot of people don't know how to get out of it. A lot of facilities in Newark are taken up, so a lot of them can't escape.
Well,
so I get around. I talk to different people. I like to get different people's viewpoints on their life, on just vibe and talk in general. And I find out a lot of things about the city, and one of those are the biggest issues, because a lot of girls do a lot of things to try to get away. And one of them, the real big deal is a lot of girls go and subject themselves around people because of housing, just to get away from the person that's abusing them. So
for financial reasons.
I'll try to help that once I get some money and some more networking and to open up a facility to help these girls. So they shouldn't be running to old men or people, perverts that just, donate their house and stuff like that to them, and then, make them feel at home just to, pounce on them and don't really care about them. There's a lot going on as far as women, period.
Right.
I think in harmony with what you're saying is great. Speaking of the mayor, that Ras Baraka has started that center, and his sister's name Shani Baraka. We got the same name. But and that's kind of surreal.
Yeah,
but there is a place for women in Newark, and I think they could be from all over. I'm not sure. But that's a refuge for women who are struggling to get out of those relationships.
Right.
There's also there's the Rachel Coalition. There in Montclair. There's a lot of like secret societies and not societies, but secret places that will keep your information secret and help you move away from those situations. I don't think many people know about it. And coming up in October is National Month Out Against Domestic Violence. Okay. And in Montclair, they have the big parade in Canterbury Park. They do have the Sophia organization that helps women. At one time, they were going to put on a play about it. I hope they still do. Right. But I think there was just waiting. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely share the news, But it's not just people in Newark. Hillside, you got Elizabeth.
And you could Google the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and it'll link you to certain centers.
Well, and it's actually happening it's happening all over. It is. And what I want to ask you, Treasure, is because I've actually seen it, myself firsthand, and with a couple of the young ladies that I do know. There's a lot of domestic violence going on with the LBGT as well. These women against women. Yeah. And it's a lot of that going on with them as well.
Well, a lot of people are financially unstable, so a lot of times they prey on, girls with big hearts, and that'll keep them warm and give them things and stuff like that. So, I guess they start to control because they're afraid of losing that. So a lot of times that happens. It's different type of situations. A lot of females are too sexy for people and stuff. Just little stupid stuff, But it's not fair to the feminine, because a lot of feminine women are getting abused, and it's not fair to them to be in a relationship and they feel love at first, and then all of a sudden somebody start hitting them. Then they bring in the fear, like, oh, if I leave and go to somebody else, this person is going to call me and say they're going to kill the person that I'm with, so I'm going to leave and go back just to keep that other person safe. So it's hard to move on from certain people. I know somebody in real danger, but you can't help them if they don't want to help themselves.
Right.
You can't fear something if you want to get help, and that's what I try to tell all the time. But it's up to her to want to change. Some of them, you'll want to help them, and then they're like, okay, and then the day you're supposed to take them somewhere to get help, they're nowhere to be found.
Right.
So then you have a question in your head of, do you really want help? Do you really see it as a negative thing that you're getting abused, or do you see it as, oh, that's love from them, and I can accept it because I'm used to it? Well, so it's a lot of situations about domestic violence here.
Right.
And
unfortunately,
I never knew about the facility. I'm definitely going to visit it and try to get some information and try to spread it as much as I can, because a lot of times we don't know what's going on unless we go to a certain place, even jobs.
Right.
We don't know jobs are open because it's not publicized around the community. It's only in City Hall and little special buildings downtown, and everybody doesn't know that. Some people don't have bus fare and stuff to get there to get that information.
And a lot of people don't have the internet either. A lot of people don't have the internet. So there, a lot of information is being placed on the internet, but there are many people that are not on the internet. First of all, Wi-Fi, it costs a lot just to try to keep the Wi-Fi up in your household.
Connected to something.
You can go to libraries and things of that nature, but it's still, now you have to travel to get to where to get to some Wi-Fi. But at the end of the day, it's real. The domestic violence thing is real, and it happens amongst everyone. No one is immune. No one is immune. And Shani's her place is on Clinton Avenue in Newark, right across the street from the Blue Mirror.
Right across the street from the Trust.
Yep.
But I think it should be more. I mean, a lot of people don't know about it. They don't know where to find it. And I think it should be more things on Facebook relating to these issues and problems, and it being pertained to Newark and the surrounding areas. Just like acting, there's a lot of auditions going on that everybody doesn't know about, and then they pop a movie up and say, oh, well, why didn't I know about that audition?
Right.
I think we should have a page for that as well for Newark. We don't have one.
Right. Well, that's definitely something we are now responsible to start.
Yeah, that'd be good, because I get a lot of castings and stuff too, Because my daughter, you know, she used to be with Explore Talent, and it's a couple of different ones that a lot of New York castings. I get a lot of New York castings, and they're constantly sending me castings in my email, so I can definitely just give them to you guys. You know.
Yeah,
it's good to have people like you, but then there's a lot of people out here that don't share the information. Like I don't know what it is with Jersey, with this, you know. I don't like it. I'm talking about it right now, but a lot of these people, like we all in this film game together, and I'm a woman in this. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't see the love back from the other sex filmmakers, and I don't understand why. Like I share your stuff,
right?
Like I'm calling it out there now. Like, and that's the problem with our people in general, with black people. Like we're the only race that does not stick together. The Hispanics stick together, the Caribbean cultures.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all or nothing with them. But with us, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know, because some people say it comes from back in those slave days, but it's like always like this envy.
I'm gonna start a page.
Absolutely.
And where people aren't knowing the information, and like I said, people before us were not like that. They started a whole black arts movement right here.
Well, everybody forms groups. Everybody, you look at every director,
It's
right? They
becoming very
mostly have their own
cliquish,
people already,
you know?
so they stick together. Everybody's trying to do with Tyler Perry,
right?
But Tyler Perry even put other people in.
And I want to support everyone, you know, and be there. And sometimes I can't always be there, but if I'm not there, believe I'm gonna share your film on my page,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do something, you know.
Right,
I'm not there.
right.
Don't what they say. Don't blame it on my heart.
Don't
just I have a lot of things going on, and it's difficult.
Charge
for me.
it to my head and not my heart.
Yeah,
I'm
charge
good for
to my
saying
head,
that.
not my
I'm
heart.
good for
'Cause believe
saying
me,
that.
I'm not there. I'm going to share you on my page. Do I
Right.
see you doing that? No, but
right. And it's crazy because it is a lot of that. It is a lot of that. It's not being reciprocated. People are always constantly, because I get it all the time. Tanya, do you think you can? Do you do this? Tanya, do you think you can do that? Tanya, then they send me something in my inbox to share, and then they see I'm not sharing it. But what do? You don't come to any of my events. I've been doing events for over 20 years. Some of you guys I have not seen at any of my events, but you expect me to share your things. I'm not going to do that. So feel how you want to feel. I really don't care, and you guys that know me know I don't care.
We letting
you
it
know
all
so,
out right here.
This is champagne.
By the way,
room.
my phone uncharged. So
Just
everyone
no
go to
filters.
Tanya's page. Treasure, put up Tanya's page for the rest of this live interview. My phone uncharged. If you see, I went out.
Is that
so? Type that information on Facebook to direct everybody's attention to her page, and we keeping it real right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. we have real talk.
That's
on
been
the
on my
champagne
mind,
room.
and it's been bothering me. So I'm just.
I need you. And right now, what I'm gonna say to you is, I need you to let. This is your outlet. Whatever it is that you feel like you need to say, that you want to say, there's no FCC regulations here. We have no filter. I say what the hell I want to say. This is my station. So if whatever you feel, however you feel, then that's what you need to do.
That was just like with music. Like, I don't know if anybody of y'all know, but I used to manage groups back in the day. Like back in the 90s, I was like, I called myself the female Puff Daddy. And but the whole for different hello? Am I still on?
Yeah. You on.
Hello.
You
For
just can't hear
different
yourself.
reasons down the line, I got out of it. But I mean, like, I had some pretty good deals going for people, and I found some very talented people. But then all throughout Jersey, I noticed it's just like, sometimes you're scared to help people because you don't know if they're going to, you know, smile in your face and stab you behind your back. Like, you want to help people, but soon as they see somebody like, oh, I think they could put me on a little bit faster, the heck with Shani, and you know what I mean? And then you never really doing stuff like that in life. You just can't prosper because
And it's sad because, Shani, you're the one that really will call every time you get something. I get a call from her every time. If I'm not able to be there, she can always call and let me know, look, hit this person up, hit that person up, and I sure enough do. And even if they don't come through, it's just something for them to maintain. Okay, Treasure just hit me up. I don't have really nothing for her, but then when I get up there, my levels go up. Now it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to go, you know, I just want to leave myself in people's mind that I did try to approach somebody about an opportunity. And I really do it because Shani, Shani, but if it wasn't for her, I would have been left this career. Like, she really didn't want. She's like, every time I called her with a crisis or a situation and said I was going to quit, she's like, no, Treasure, no, you're not.
Oh, I'm just the mother. I'm not
She
that
was
mother
always
hen
that
type.
person. Keep me out of situations.
Absolutely.
I'm still Miss
Because,
Stevens from the classroom.
Somebody
Yeah.
else trying to call in and talk to you too.
That's how I met her. I got into a fight, and she was in the hallway, and she was talking to me. After I got, cooled down and everything, she was the one to talk to me, and I stopped getting into fights after that. I really did.
Right.
Whoever's the next caller, please call back. But I think at the end of the day, what's going on here in Jersey, my movement was to save the youth through film, to stop all these shootings, to get kids engaged in something. And with the exception of Tina and Treasure, was just starting, all those kids in my film were not actors. They all just had a dream. And I think what I did notice when I was teaching is that so many of the kids here had so much talent, but yet it was so much negativity trying to pull them down.
Treasure, we have
stay away from that.
someone else calling in, sweetheart.
Elizabeth's Value.
All right, thank
like
you
a
for
store.
calling. We appreciate you.
God bless, Treasure. It looked like a store, Elizabeth Value.
Right. No, call back. Call back.
Call back. Caller number 3.
There
All
they
right,
are.
caller number 3 is back. We got the lines buzzing tonight, especially when we started talking about all that. Ain't nobody supporting each other mess, right?
You press the thing? Oh. All right.
Caller number 3, call back.
Yeah, you guys can call back in. You guys can call back in. We are gonna always have we're gonna always keep it real here on the Champagne Room Radio Show. There's gonna be no faking the
No
funk
filter.
here. We don't do that. We haven't done that. We're not gonna start doing that. So I tell everybody all the time that this is our radio station. When I say that, I mean that. I've never been one to say things that I don't mean. I mean that. So when I feel that this is a family, and we birth than anything in people's ears. We do everything on this. Yeah. So just basically saying that we don't have people coming on here and pretending. We don't want any pretenders.
No.
This is a
No great
family.
pretenders.
If you're feeling some kind of way, you feel like you need to cry, we gonna cry together.
Yeah.
You feel like you want to laugh, we gonna laugh together. This is what we do here on the Champagne Room Radio Show, and it's not gonna change. No matter how much people may want it to, it's not gonna change. So,
Keep
like
it
I said,
100.
this is your time to say whatever it is that you want to say, Shani, and this is the platform. I'm giving it to you. I'm about to put this back on you for you to handle your
It's back on
business.
me. I think maybe we could get some callers, like with the subject of us talking about why don't people of color, black people, pull each other up when one is getting ahead or just wanting to support. Like I said, if I'm not there, it's for a reason. But I'm, like I said, best believe I'm gonna share your social media info. I'm gonna tell people, and what is it about our culture that we're not like that, you know?
Right.
And I think like with this whole movement in film with these kids, look, whichever one of us get that big Hollywood budget 1st, if it's me, best believe I'm coming back.
Right.
I'm coming back for people that's not even in film that I know might be struggling or been through something, and I don't know why that is.
Right. And it's when you were going through that whole domestic violence thing that was depicted in your movie. How did you come out of it? Because a lot of people are in it that can't come out or feel like they can't come out. How were you able to come out of it?
I actually was empowered by being a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I was young. I was like 28 at that time, and back then I didn't look my age. So I was going into these schools and like security was like kicking me out the hall, and I go into the classroom. The kids like, yeah, where the teacher at? They throwing things, they wilding out, and I'm like, I am the teacher. But even though I looked younger, I wasn't. You know what I mean? And I think that was how the kids were able to relate to me because they trusted someone that looked maybe a little bit more like them at the time. But I let them know, I'm a teacher, you're the student, you do certain things, you come here between certain hours to follow these rules.
Right.
And then in meeting some of these kids and just hearing their conversations and finding out some of the, them confiding in me about some really, really bad things they've been through. I kind of looked at myself like, well, you know, I can't be no role model in front of these kids, and then behind closed doors something's going on with me. You know what I mean? I can't sit up here and encourage kids not to be going through stuff, because it's teenagers that get in abusive relationships too. Right. Back in the 80s and 90s when I was in high school, and I wasn't even like in relationships all the time, I would see you would hear of those girls in school that like, oh, their boyfriend was beating them up, and but back in those days you would hear the girls would stay, like Treasure said, because of money. Back in the day, if a guy had a car, or what was it back in the day, a car with a booming system and some rims in, you know what I mean, so flashy system and all of that stuff, that these girls were staying with these guys for the money, but you would hear through the hallways, oh, so-and-so just beat her up. And just knowing that can happen to people at any age. Right. And then knowing that, like, I became like this leader figure. Like, if some of my students call in, they looked at me like an older aunt. You know what I mean? And I just felt like, oh no, I can't.
So you had to lead by example. Right.
And one day there was a student in the gym that saw something, was like, Stevens, what's going on? And if my original script is ever filmed, or I do need money to film that whole script, you'll see more than what you saw in the short. The students started sensing certain days that something was not right with me. Like, oh, Miss Stevens, you having problems? Like, don't let us have to, you know what I mean? Go find who that is. So I was just like, nah, I can't. You know what I mean? Right. And just in general, one thing, people, I think once a lot of females start understanding that, I was told, you know, domestic violence is a crime. Right. And people that are victims don't see it that way, because they're being abused by somebody they love. So it's all mixed up. Like, I thought they loved me. And then, you know, it's something that's called the honeymoon effect, where it's like this cycle of abuse, where there'll be abuse. And then maybe the man or the woman will give flowers or gifts. Oh, I promise I'm never going to do that.
Believe
and it
me.
just goes around and around and around. And it's, believe me, if somebody says they're going to do something to you, you better take them quite seriously, because they just might, you know what I mean? And I just couldn't be a leader in front of this classroom and be being abused behind closed doors. And that was my story. You know what I mean? But I think the first thing women should know, people should know in general, domestic violence is a crime. You're not to treat that any differently than walking down the street, somebody knocking you in the head, as my mother says, and stealing or robbing or violating you. It's just because you know the person. I guess that's where the confusion comes in. Right. And
not only that you know them, but you actually love them.
Yeah. I remember I took this I took this class once at Montclair State called Social Problems, and I'll never forget this girl in my class. She said, "You know what? These women, you know, these men say they love these women, and they really do, but with some type of." Usually, some of these men have been through they got some other issues.
Some crazy, right?
Men don't know if there's something else going on, like if my film is ever filmed in its entirety, you see more. Shout out to Ken Andrews, who is a very nice guy who played.
Yes, I couldn't believe
my
Black
very
45
mean boyfriend
played that part.
Let me tell you how Ken came, and this is how the magic of film works, and how the magic of what's meant for you is for you. Ken is his own filmmaker, Black 45. Shout out to Ken, and Never How You Wanted, his big film. And the person that was supposed to play him didn't show up, so he was called, and you know. He said I felt awful playing that type of guy, because Ken is very, you know,
he's not like that
for
at
the women
all.
As far as like not believing that women should be abused. You know what I mean? He said this is something I am totally against. Right. You know what I mean? And but you know, he never acted before, but he came and he played that part. But there was a story behind that part, which was in reality that person, when he was younger, like his mother used to take him with him to cheat on his father. Like, and as a young kid, he was seeing these things, and he was seeing a whole bunch of stuff. So he grew up in his mind, I'll never trust a woman. You know what I mean? Right. And there's usually something else that's going on, I would say mentally, with some of these people that are out here trying to control people through fear and bullying and abuse. There's some underlying issue behind that.
Yeah, it's
and there are programs for men. There's the Batterers Intervention Program.
I was about to say,
an excellent one.
It's crazy because, like I said, domestic violence comes in so many different ways. It's not just a man against a woman. You know,
woman against
it's
woman, man against man, and
right.
you
know, so it comes in so many different
and teenagers, teenagers too.
The teenagers,
yeah,
the teenagers. I don't. It's like I don't know. I just couldn't see me. I was always a loving little girl, and everybody loved me anyway. So to hurt me was like, what are you doing? What is that?
Yeah.
I went through an abusive relationship, so I've been through the abusive relationship thing too. And that's why I can when you said that point about the they do what they do and then they buy you something. Or they come in
called the honeymoon effect,
right?
Yeah,
and they
circle,
and that's what he used to do. That's basically what he used to do. He would, he go and he'll do things and he'll say certain things to me and I can't really the relationship was abusive, but I've always been a fighter, so I was never a woman that you could just hit me and we're not gonna fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight you back. So I was always we were kind of fighting. It wasn't a relationship because we were fighting. Because I'm like, to the point where one day I literally kicked the door off the hinges to get to this man, and it was and it just was crazy. I've had a gun put to my head, all kinds of stuff from something that he did. I catch you with someone, I say I'm leaving, and you want to kill me, and then because I'm like I don't care at this point. You're going to turn the gun on yourself. Okay, go ahead. Kill yourself, too. I really don't care what you do with it at this point. I really don't care. Because you go through I was just really at that point where I was ready to leave him anyway. Because it was like.
That was a lot.
It was too much. I was going through a little bit too much, and when I say I went above and beyond for this man, I mean I went above, beyond, and all over. I mean, he got deported back to his country, so he's back in his country now. But when he was out here, I mean, when we were together, and I was young. I was young. I was 17 years old. I left my mom. I left my little boyfriend that I had. That had a little boyfriend. He was older than I was. So and that's a lot of times that's what they do. They separate you from your family. They move you away from your family, and that's basically how
to isolate you. The thing once they start saying where you going and why you want to be with that bitch, you know what I'm saying, or they start separating you from your family, kind of like a brainwash, and start turning you against people, and they make it so that they are the only person in your world, the only person they trust. And I think what happens in a lot of cases, I don't know if everybody on this that's watching this is old enough to remember, I'm telling my age, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Where there's this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of personality where this man is really nice and charming, because these men really they are very charming when you meet them. They are charming. They're very charming.
Yes.
And
easily you can fall in love with them.
Yeah,
easily.
And then they become was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll was the evil one, right? It wasn't Mr. Hyde. But it's a split personality. Half me, half like a monster. I think Hyde was the madman, but it's this personality. And I think with some of these women, I think they're looking for the man they met to return. Right. And that's when that whole honeymoon effect comes in, and it's just confusing.
And then what they do too is they feel that he'll change.
They think he's going to change back.
He's going to change, right?
Once they hit you the first time, what Maya Angelou say? Once somebody show you who they are the first time, you better believe it.
Exactly.
You better believe it.
Exactly.
And then in some there are some tips out there for people if somebody is in an abusive relationship and they may be scared, they may be ready to get out, and in some cases they say one of the most dangerous times is leaving. There are tips that women can have, such as setting up safety plans, have an extra set of car keys, have a bag packed somewhere where if you need to just get out, you got a way to get out. You got that extra set of keys, because some of these men or women, they'll take your keys. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There are
they disable you.
Tips on how you can have just like you would have an emergency kit with Band-Aids and Neosporin or something like that, or if you have an illness, you'll have a kit. You know what I mean? Right. Something that is life saving in just the general world. A car battery, you know what I mean? Just as you would have cables to jump your car. You know what I mean? They say that.
But I think what we have to understand, and me myself, and again, when I speak, I'm always speaking of personal experience. So my personal experience with that whole disabling thing, he actually came and took a screwdriver and started, messing my radiator up in my car and everything, so I wouldn't be able to, drive. But again, the fighter in me, I'm trying to stop him from doing that, and he stabbed me in my stomach with the screwdriver 5 times.
Ooh,
5 times
Jesus.
I got stabbed in the stomach with the screwdriver.
But
it's like I can't. Even after that, I still stayed with this man. It was crazy. So I always feel if I can get out of a situation like that, anybody can do
get
it.
out. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah. I think if we don't expose what we've been through, then we can't help anybody.
Right.
That's like a preacher that ain't never been through nothing. Oh, I've been good all my life. Praise the Lord.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta talk that you used to be in the club. You know what I'm saying? Where you used to be on the corner. The only way to help broken people is to let them know that you were once broken.
Absolutely. And it's always okay to have a testimony. A lot of people are so nah, I'm not. So this is probably the first time anybody is hearing this from me, because I've never really I've been and I've had conversations with people about this with just me and me and that person, but I've never openly said this, and where the world can hear me now, but God bless you. It's okay, because I can talk about it now. Yeah. At one point in time I couldn't talk about it. Then after going through that, I went through the whole a whole nother situation with another ex where he took his own life and was with me, and I had to deal with that. So I've been going through things. So when I say,
sound like you got a book, Tanya.
We had started that whole thing, but I'm like, I don't think I want to write the book. But I already did kind of start the book, all of that, and everybody's like, you should go ahead and put it out and all of that stuff. But I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do all of that. But because I do so much, and I really don't have the time to be sitting down writing books. But I wrote a lot over the years, just the experiences, that I was going through. I did write a lot over the years. I kind of got it it's at my mom's house, put up, but I don't know. It's like I have a testimony, but I'd rather tell you about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather tell, because to me, a lot of times just being able to talk to people or have that one-on-one or to have that conversation, or it just seems more real to me. Like I like it, everybody likes books. That's cool. But I'm just the type of person, I'd rather talk to you. I'd rather tell you what's going on, and you can see my face and know that this is real. This is not something that that just you're
the platform. Have a platform. That's
right. Maybe, and that's why I love this so much. This whole radio thing. Yeah. I love it. I let go I have been letting go so much since I've had this radio station. It's just crazy, and it's been just helping me. It's really just been helping, and it made me the woman that I am today, because I let go so much. When I started first in Patterson, just being a radio show host, it just, people don't understand. Sometimes you just need an outlet.
That was actually a former dream of mine when I was younger.
Yeah.
So when I saw a woman doing this, I was like, wow, she living my dream.
Wow.
She got me here about this movie, but she don't really know that I used to be called the next Whitney Williams. But I think it's amazing when you see a woman doing this, and I'm like, she working them little boards back there and stuff.
Yeah, you can do it. It's nothing that you can't do. It's easy to learn. You just have to be willing to learn. Yeah. A lot of people say they want to do it, but they don't want to sit down and kind of go through it. They don't want to work. People don't want to work. Some people are so into people giving them things and being handed things that they don't want to put the work in. But you have to put the work in. Mm-hmm. And this can be easy if you like what you're doing. If you don't like what you're doing, don't even worry about it. But if you want to do it, I'll teach you. I don't have a problem.
Listen, Tanya, I'll be down here. I think I just want the mic. I'm like looking what you're doing, all that technology. I'm like, well, I'll be able to.
Yeah, but it's not that. Once you get the hang of it, and then a lot of things I had to teach myself to do. So it was, even though, Ronald Williams, big ups to him, boss man, and at Gyroscope Media, where I initially started off at in Patterson, where you came to, big ups to him for even having the I don't know, for him to trust me, to say, I believe you can franchise out and you can do this in Newark yourself. So for him to say that, and he came here and he's the one that, you know, helps put the records
dope.
up
We got
and
all
do
the
all
old
of this.
school records up
you
here.
know, and
nice.
he basically taught, this is what you have to do, and kind of showed me this is what you have to do, you know, and a lot of things I just kind of learned on my own. I always been like, you know, I always love electronics and DJs and all that entertainment stuff. That comes from being around entertainers all my life, DJs and producers and all that stuff all my life. So I always wanted to kind of to kind of do this anyway. So I'm kind of it's a lot of people are like, why you waiting until you in your 40s? Just like when I did my
I'm in my 40s. I'm 45, and I wrote a sub 17 years ago.
I'll be 48.
Yeah, okay, good in our 40s. Put that Jaheim music back on. What's that song?
Exactly. Age ain't a factor.
That's right. That back on.
Yeah, we'll play that. We'll play that.
45,
again,
not
that's
ashamed.
We would definitely play that again. But you know, I just love the fact that you're able to speak about, to not only speak about, but actually do a movie about, you know, what it is. And I really, really I need you guys to look at me when I say this. If you have any kind of way that you can help Shani and the Brick City to get on that big screen, to do that 1 hour and some change,
1 hour and 15 minutes,
1 hour and 15-minute movie. It's a short film now, 30 something minutes.
Yeah, I had 34 minutes done, and I can't believe how many awards it won with 34 minutes. So I'm like, Lord, what if the whole thing was done?
Right.
With many people that have never acted before.
Right.
Of course, we have seasoned actors like Terrell Hicks from A Bronx Tale and Belly.
Right.
Talithia Lewis, who had experience, who played me. Shout out to Pretty Ricky Fontaine out in L.A. now doing her thing. Couldn't have done it without you. Charlie had some experience. And Treasure was just starting. The rest of the kids was right here from a little flyer passed out on Broad and Market.
And that's a beautiful thing in itself.
Like I would say, even with Ken's character, with the guy who played my boyfriend, you would see more of the background of these characters and why they were the way they were. You would see the different scenes of maybe, you know, the kids noticing. This one scene was kids noticed something was not right with me one day, that I was going through something. And then you'll see the success stories. Like you see Tina's character, Isha, but there are also some success stories, like Dr. Sophia Garrett, who's now she's got her own entertainment company. Shout out to Doctor. That's one of my students. That's her real name, Dr. period. And she always was, you know, an outstanding student, and now she's got her own entertainment company. Stuff like you will see not only just the negative things, you'll see the positive sides, and you'll see you get exposed to some positive teachers. All you see is all the negative teachers in the films, the ones on drugs, and you know, I exposed those teachers that, you know, were inappropriate with the students. I expose it. We need to know who's teaching our kids, because some of these people should not be in these schools.
That's right.
Teaching your children that have issues, you know, with some of the kids in the schools, you know, experience being molested while at school, and you know, that's not crazy. Right. That is not acceptable.
And that's why we need to talk to our kids. You guys need to talk to your kids, you know. And it's unfortunately, it's not a lot of that going on. A lot of parents are not speaking to their children. They're not having conversations
even if
with
they
their
think
children.
You're aggravating them. Like teenagers don't want to talk, but you have to aggravate them.
Yes, aggravate
them. You
them.
have to know, you know.
Let them say you Aggie. Let them say it. My daughter called me Aggie all the time. I don't care.
Let those schools see your face. Like, let those schools know. I don't care what district you're in. You know, let the people know who you are in that school.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We got to be in there a million times a week. And
that's right.
Then comes that aggravating. That's better than, you know, them not knowing you at all. Because I even had, when I was teaching, I would be reading these, you know, attendance rosters, and I'm like, where's so-and-so? Well, they had a fight, they can't come back because the parent won't bring them back to school.
Wow.
All because a parent would not come back and put them back in the school. They outside somewhere, you know?
Right. No, I can't see it. I stayed in the schools. Everybody knew Miss Champagne.
Yep.
Everybody knew
me
Miss
that
Champagne.
pest, so here
all
she
the
comes.
kids.
Yep, here I come.
Here come the kids. The kids knew me too. Here come my mom to me. Here comes your mom. Yes, I stayed in school. Every school she went to, I was there.
Yep.
I was there. I ain't playing. We are not doing that. But you know, just knowing that you took the time and you actually put children or youth in the movie that never experienced being in a movie before. That in itself, when you kind of think about it, and when I tell people all the time, is when you do things like that when they're at rehearsal, when they're doing doing their thing or whatever. Think about it like this: those hours that they're at rehearsal, they're not on the streets.
They're not on the streets.
They're not doing drugs. They're not drinking. They're not doing they're doing something positive. And those are the things that people need to think about when I tell them that you need help to get the rest of this movie done.
Yes, I need help. I done said it on a few stations. We saying it right now live. When Tanya is telling y'all, when Tanya talks, people listen.
That's right.
And by the way, shout out to Nibiru Gifts on 143 Halsey Street, to Ron, Brother Mufi, who gave us that location for the rehearsal for the children, who gave me an opportunity, 2 years ago, to have table readings when I didn't have a camera or a director.
Nice.
When I just had a script and we were just sitting down with a few people, a few actors, and reading it. I couldn't have done it without you, Ron. Shout out to the Bureau Gifts.
Nice.
Stop by there for all of your gift needs, incense oils. I think y'all know the spot on Halsey, 143 Halsey. They usually got like club music outside and incense burning.
Okay.
And he's got pretty good deals on different stuff too. Shea butter, different beauty products, and natural products for the skin.
Nice. So you got that nice plug in, Ron.
That's right, Ron. Ron, I know I'm a pain, but I appreciate you.
Good, but that's what you have to do when people do things for you. Even if you can't give back financially or whatever the case, just show them some love. Let them know that you appreciate them. Everybody wants to feel appreciated. Even though a lot of people say, "No, I just do it because I love it." It feels really good when people say they appreciate what you do for them. Yeah. And to just be a person that is mindful to what's going on out here. And having and I just can't just express it enough, this whole thing with the youth, with the kids, because I love the kids, and when it comes to kids, I'm like just jelly, butter or whatever. I just melt. I just love the kids, and I feel that the acting, the arts, period, acting, entertainment, period, can really save. It has saved lives. It's saved many lives from when the kids that I was dealing with.
Amazing, yeah,
and it can really save lives. So I believe that that we should take it to another level, just like what Treasure was saying earlier, as far as the whole doing like just a page with the whole casting for Essex County or Newark or whoever. I would say Essex County because the whole county.
Exactly.
Just to do something for them and give them that whole it's a casting here. Yeah. You guys can come and put your headshots on this page. You know what I mean? Put your headshots there, a little bio about yourself or whatever, and let people come and find you here on this page. I think it really should happen.
It might be, with social media, it's easier that way. I started off as an extra in Spike Lee movies. I'm here to tell you.
Right.
I was in Clockers. I was in Malcolm X. If you look at Malcolm X and see Denzel kiss this girl right before Joe Louis won the fight, I hate the way I look. That was me. Yeah, I kissed Denzel. Mm-hmm. But I started off as an extra in movies. I went up to being an extra in Law and Order until September 11th happened. And that's when I got the call from, at that time, was Barringer High. That was like, Ms. Stevens, we need a teacher. Are you available every day? Right. And I was like, well, yeah, you have to do a little acting. This lady was like, well, how would you like to play Survivor? That's back when Survivor first came out. Gave me this group of 9th graders that was off the hook. Mm-hmm. I come into the class, they was gambling and everything, and I'm like, wait a minute. And shout out to Eddie and Lolita, two of my Barringer kids that are on my page that are doing well.
Nice.
Lolita is I don't want to say she's a Marine. She's in the Army. Eddie is doing his thing. And but that's how I started. And I watched, even like with my film, I made sure everybody talked. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Every background actor is important.
Right.
And then me being on those sets with like Spike Lee, I was like, I could do this myself. I could write my own movies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I could put myself in it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you only did a little walking part in that part of your movie.
Oh man, y'all saw my little Hitchcock.
She walking.
Let me tell you, I looked tore up from the floor filming the sub in a brick city. I mean, I worked. There's some awful looking pictures of me, but we was working.
Okay. That's okay.
Snow.
That's what it.
Hot weather.
That's what it is. Yep. You have to get it done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you say this is something that you want to do. The weather, nothing can stop it. You have to do what you have to do. Yeah. So I mean, other than the movie that you're not ready to tell everybody about yet. Are you planning on doing anything else? Any casting for anything else or any?
I will do another open call. Right now, I have there's we doing stuff very tight. You know what I mean, and very organized. And I do have someone behind me. Shout out to Michelle White, who she's business. Mm-hmm. I'm that artist, and I can get carried away. Sometimes being that artist and getting carried away in your art, you can get taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. So she ain't letting me rush with this. You know what I mean? Like, slow down. You know what I mean? And I think you will like it as much as a sub in the Brick City. You know, I pretty much write about experiences.
Okay.
And things that people could relate to, and like I said, exposing those sensitive areas of people's lives to help other people, through art.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what's up. And have you reached out to the city of Newark, to the county, to anybody, any organizations or anything out here that Rutgers? I mean, it's a couple of different community-based organizations that are out here that kind of caters to the arts. You should probably get that meeting with
I don't know
Mayor
what's
Baraka,
going on, because we sure never been invited into the Newark Film Festival. And come on, like,
no?
I think it's some type of politics or something behind this. I don't know what it is, but Montclair State is where I graduated from, and I did a presentation up there for a women's group, and I did. They showed the movie to some students, and it was. We discussed the issue of domestic violence, and I may be able to get some supports from there, but I'm willing to accept supports from anywhere. You know what I mean? I may not live in Newark, but my father went to Weequahic High School. He taught there. He was raised here. You know what I mean?
Where did you teach?
I was at all of the high schools.
Okay.
In the film, it looks like one school. In the original script, you could see a synopsis of everywhere I was. But, like with the budget and stuff, it just looks like one school, or it may be elements of certain schools all wrapped up into one.
But was it their Essex County schools?
Well, Sub in the Brick City was about Newark High Schools.
Newark High Schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just looked, the way it's filmed, it looks like it's just all happening in one school.
Was it a school? Was it what I'm saying is, you subbed in schools that are in Newark? You subbed in Newark schools?
Yeah, I was in every single one of those high schools.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So I don't see why it should be a problem with.
I don't know, because like some of the Brick City is controversial. Everybody may not want you to see it, and everybody ain't happy about it. So
everybody's
from
not
what I'm
be
being
happy
told,
about the truth. Everybody's not gonna have. I'm gonna tell you that everybody's not gonna be happy about the truth. These are things that are actually going on that a lot of people are probably sweeping under the rug or pushing to the back burner and not speaking about, not being boisterous about it. So yes, it's going to be controversial, so to speak. But
I hear things have changed and things have improved. You know what I mean? I wrote this like 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't know why anybody's catching feelings about it. But
the people who are catching feelings about it is because although it was 17 years ago, those things are still going on. The things are still going on. You're opening up Pandora's box.
I open Pandora's box, and it's not just here in Jersey. Or Newark is happening. This is
everywhere.
A worldwide issue.
Exactly.
Come on, people in India accepted this movie, and when I was at the film festival where we won that award, I got to see other films from over there, and basically I said, "Wow, people in India care about people in Newark and what's going on."
Right.
These are the same problems that's going on all over the place, just in another country, another location, another place in time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you can't stop doing what you're doing. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop doing what it is that you're doing. You got to continue. And there are resources. It's tiring, Shani. I'm gonna let you know. It's tiring. It can be overwhelming. It takes a lot, especially and I was saying this in my last show. A lot of time. Well, no, where was I at? Gyroscope. I was saying this. A lot of times people think that physical labor is more tiring than mental
And helping people is very tiring.
Yes, helping people
Yeah.
is everything that has to do with mental. It's very tiring when
unrewarded
just
at
having to
times.
think. Right, having to think constantly is tiring. Sometimes I just shut down. Like when it's time for me to sleep, I just need to sleep.
Turn the phone
because
off.
I'm constantly thinking. Sometimes I'm thinking in my sleep. Sometimes I'm dreaming. I wake up with stuff going on, and I gotta remember this, or I might wake up and have a song in my head, and I'll literally take my phone and
start writing it down,
sing it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
But it's tiring with dealing with everything that's going on in your own life, in your
And then
own
you
home.
helping
Then you
other
gotta
people,
deal
yeah.
with other people's problems.
yeah.
And your work
Oh,
environment,
gosh.
and then don't have multiple things that multiple work environments or multiple businesses like I do that you
Yeah.
have to deal with. It's tiring. It's tiring, and it's okay sometimes to say no. It's okay sometimes to say I can't do this.
Yep.
I just need to rest. It's okay to turn your phone off. It's okay to get off of Facebook. It's okay to just
It sure
rest.
is.
Leave
Yep.
me alone
Yep.
at least for a day or two. I'm not. Don't charge it to my head.
To my
charge
heart.
it to my.
Yeah.
It's basically me having to kind of just wind down.
Yeah, because your body will break down.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah,
I
believe
know.
me.
Yep.
I know you're going through what you're going through. I'm going through.
Yeah,
what
I fell
I'm
in a
going through. So,
store
yeah, I
like
know.
a year ago. You know what I mean? I'm in here with like a bandage on my leg from falling. You
Right,
know.
right.
So but I'm like, you know what, Lord, my leg is hurting, but I gotta come to Tanya's show tonight. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Sometimes these things are opposition to stop you. Sometimes you're just tired. It's too much. You're doing too much, and you don't take time. But sometimes, closer you get to your dream,
Absolutely.
sickness may come, or an injury, or aches and pains, and just anything. Your
Believe
car
me.
may act up.
Believe me.
It's all these things trying to stop you. So that's when that blessing is about to come. When all this stuff starts
Yeah.
going awry,
Yeah.
or even people like relatives can just start turning on you and talking out the side of your neck, and you be like, "Do you know what I've done for them?" And they have the audacity to fix their mouth to say something like this.
Please.
They'll
do it. They'll
But
do
that
it to
just
you.
knows your blessing is coming.
Right.
When you have that rough week and you got to get to the Tanya Champagne show, you better get to the Tanya Champagne show because I'm here.
Absolutely, and coming here to the Champagne Room Radio Show on GS Radio North can be such an outlet for some folks.
Yes.
It can just really open up some things. I don't think I've had a especially female guest that has came on here. Like I said, we've cried, we've laughed, people have, and they just feel like they can just say whatever, and they just kind of open up, because that's how I want you to feel when you come here. I want you to feel like you can.
I'm definitely
I want you to
feeling
feel
the
I'm
love
your
in here.
therapist. I need a therapist for damn self, but I'm your therapist. The show is being used to make you feel better.
She
so
is
that
the
you can get
Delilah
some
of the
things
Brick
out.
City. Y'all know that lady? I'm Delilah, 106 Light FM.
Oh God, just
Come
let
to
it
Tanya.
out. Yes, just let it out. But
We're going to have some candles in here next time. Some candles.
make it a little
some
more.
aromatherapy,
Yeah, 'cause
some
we
cheese
can
and
actually
crackers.
Turn the lights down. We
Yeah.
don't have to turn them completely off. They actually can be turned down and everything. Yeah, so we can
Definitely
we can change
coming
the
back.
ambiance.
Even if I'm not on the air, I'm coming back.
Yeah, we can change the ambiance in here, but we actually got 10 minutes on here.
Where are the
We did a
callers?
lot of
What happened?
talking.
My
We did a
live
lot of
uncharged.
talking.
And let me see if a little power came. Am I allowed to?
Oh, you're
shift
live
to-
on your live.
The power went
All
out.
right,
Me and my charger.
I'll play a song, and you can go ahead and try to see about getting your live together while we play this song. So again, you're tuned in to the Champagne Room Radio Show. It's your girl Tanya Champagne, and I'm here with my sis Shani Stevens, a sub in the Brick City. So we are going to now. I'm gonna play a song for you guys. You know
Put
what?
that
I'm gonna go
Jaheim back
Shalimar
on.
on y'all. 'Cause
Oh,
y'all know
Shalimar.
what y'all know about Shalimar.
What y'all know about it? You
Shalimar.
better find out.
It's Still I wanna get next to you. I wanna get next to you.
Play on the Champagne Room Radio Show here on GS Radio Newark, our radio station. You already know it's your girl Tanya Champagne, and we are back, and we have my girl Shani Stevens in the building. That's what we're gonna do now. But what we're gonna do now is you know what I want to know, Sean?
Yes.
Who is it that you would like to work with?
You know who I want to work with as an actor? Like, I just want her in my next project, my remake, whatever. I have been watching reruns of The Corner lately, and I want to work with Candy Alexander. If you out there, I want to work with you. I think she could just bring it. Especially with me writing about like a lot of real life characters,
right?
Know, or characters based on real life experiences. I just think she's great, and haven't seen her in a while.
Okay.
I mentioned that about Terrell. I was like, I want to work with her one day. God blessed me to work with her. Cause
right.
It was so funny because like when I was 19, I tried out for a Bronx Tale, and I was souped. They gave me the script. I read in Robert De Niro's office. And I remember having that little script, Colosio. What kind of name is Colosio? And I just knew, and I never got a call back from them. And then I was like, I wonder who's the girl that got the part. And then I saw Terrell Hicks, and I was like, oh, that's the girl that got the part.
Wow.
That's why it's always good to rejoice for other people.
Right.
And
right.
Many years later, or 25 years later, I just happened to say, I wonder where she is right now. I put it on Facebook, like, I told my little story about the whole Bronx Tale thing.
Right,
I was mad at the time, you know. Letting me leave with a script. Oh, I got the part. And in Robert De Niro's office, private reading, really.
Right.
But I got to work with her, you know what I mean?
Right. God is good.
So I want to work with Candy Alexander, definitely. I haven't seen her in a while. I don't think... Have you seen her since The Corner? She's the one, if you don't remember, she played DeAndre's mother. Who was the mother of a young hustler, and in the film, she had her own demons going on. Right. Charles Dutton, I believe, produced that, and that was based on real life drug issues and down in Maryland.
Right.
And I would love to work with her. Candy Alexander.
I've always wanted to meet Taraji myself.
Oh, well, you know.
I love her.
Cookie, of course. Where are you, Taraji?
Yes.
That's you know.
Yes. I just want to meet her. It's not even a thing. I just want to meet her. I want us to go hang out. I want us to just act up. Like I just
she
really want to meet her.
Right?
Yeah, she just seemed like she just a whole lot of fun. But she's always been, you know, way back when she did Baby Boy and you know all of those. Like it doesn't have anything to do with her doing Empire right now. It's just
and I want her eyebrows.
You know.
Like how she get them? Like
she.
I want those eyebrows, Taraji. Where do you go?
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. I really like her. That's my girl.
What's up, Montclair? I see everybody I went to high school with. Adrian, Michael. Hey, Kelly. What's up, Keem?
That's what's up. So she, Shani's on her live, guys. So you stream live. Don't feel bad. She's on her live, her Facebook live. Y'all know we do the Facebook live thing. But I got y'all.
She got y'all, because my phone, I don't keep it charged. I'm talking that junk to the red. I talk a lot, so I had to charge it.
But I'm talking to my Ustream people, in all 185 plus countries right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you guys for watching us. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being fans. We love you guys so much, especially my South African. Oh, my South African
We in the motherland.
What?
What's up, Wafia? I don't know if you over there, if you could see us over there in South Africa. I know you've been making your journey.
185 plus countries, Switzerland, Sweden, places I can't even pronounce. That's where we are. That's where GS Radio Newark is. That's where Gyroscope Radio is. That's where the GS family is. We are in 185 countries. And we got the stats to prove it.
She got the stats.
So we're not just saying it.
It's in
so
writing.
we're not just saying it. Go on the website. Actually, all you got to do is go on the website, click on the little globe that's spinning around with all the little red things on it. All the little red things means those are all the places that we are. Those are all the people that are listening on the globe. Click on the globe. It takes you right to the statistics. We're not playing. We're not playing.
Hey, Victor Perez. Shout out to Victor Perez from Never How You Want It, a Ken Andrews film.
Yes.
Laura Ramirez. I don't know where you are. Shout out to Laura. I hope to work with her one day, too. All my Never How You Want It people.
That's right. Eddie Nicholas. I'm surprised my Eddie didn't call.
Eddie is lonely at the top. He's somewhere live, probably interviewing somebody. He's the international. He's everywhere.
Yes, I love myself some Eddie Nicholas. So we where can everyone find you? We need to know where you can be found. Give everybody your social media handles.
Facebook, Shani Stevens. Anybody watching, Stevens with a PH. And my email is ShaniStevens0410@gmail.com. ShaniStevens0410@gmail.com. ShaniStevens0410@gmail.
Okay. So y'all got that? Anything else you want to say or add? Matter of fact, I think what I really need you to do is just give us some last words. Give the audience, and then I want you to look into your camera, that camera right there. It's there. People see when people do the live, for some reason they're so focused on the Facebook live, they don't focus on the fact that it's another camera. So you kind of forget about that's like another camera
with those phones.
Right. So you but basically, what would you say to someone? What would be your last words? Just positive, something positive that you can instill in a young lady that's coming up that may be going through the domestic violence.
Violence. We did get on that subject. Somebody said talk about your movie. The domestic violence topic was a part of the film. Domestic violence is a crime,
right.
And it's no different, like I said, than a stranger attacking you out on the street. It's just happening to be at the hands of someone you love or maybe in a relationship with. It's a crime. It's a violation. And I think once people realize, this is a crime against me, maybe it would be treated differently. Confide in someone. Have a friend. A lot of these women pass away and they're like, nobody knew. Or even like, it could be like guys that were well liked and like, I can't believe he did that, or I can't believe she did that. Right. You got to tell somebody something. And if there is someone out here on the verge of needing to leave, have that backup kit. Like I said, they advise women a secret place for the keys in the bag. You know what I mean? A escape bag. Seriously.
Right. All right. So we you said someone was saying something about talk about
they
the
want
movie.
To hear more
how many
about the
different
movie.
Things? How many different topics were there in the movie? And then we actually have to go. We can't stay on here forever, guys.
We
have to leave.
Stay forever. I can stay down here.
She'll come back again, but
down
just
here
real quick,
nice.
Right? Just real quick, if you guys, if you could just let us know, how many different stories were there? How many different things were there actually in the movie?
If I get my original script, it's several stories. From what you see in this one, you mainly see Tina Jetta's character Isha, who there was her story is based on a character that came out of a study hall classroom. Like think it was a situation where the kids didn't have schedules yet, and everybody was just in the auditorium, and this girl was just talking about what she was going through. But she was also a combination of some of the boys in my classroom. They used to be talking about stealing cars and doing all types of stuff, and I'm like, why are you why are you doing that? And,
right.
Oh, you don't understand, Miss Stevens. We do that so we can go to the youth house because we could eat in the youth house. I could play basketball, like 3 hots in a cot. I said, kids are stealing cars just because they don't have nothing to eat. And they know if they go into this jail, this detention center, at least they're going to be fed and they can play basketball.
That's crazy.
That's bad. And I want to say, finally, put prayer back in schools.
Absolutely.
Put prayer back in schools.
I need to.
My child are ready to, knock the person out. Right. Because they don't believe that, their kid was down the street doing something. We need that village. There's some people that still have that in them, but it's just not enough like when we were raised. You know what I mean? You need that village.
Absolutely. All right, so again, I thank you. I thank you, my sister.
Shout out to Metropolitan
here.
Baptist Church, my church, who does a lot with the youth and has a lot going on for children, teenagers, and young men in the community. They have the Willing Heart Center. They have, what is that, the Eagle Academy I'm thinking of for the boys. I think it's the Young Eagle Academy. They have a lot. And they have an 11:30 youth service for teenagers. I used to see, when I was going to church, I used to see some of my students coming in there out of nowhere joining.
Wow.
Didn't even know I was in there. I've seen kids come in there and get out of gangs because they say that's the way out. Surrender to God.
Right. That's right.
That's the way out.
That's right. God is always the answer. Always the answer.
Someone's talking about the school uniforms and competing with other cultures. First day of school.
Well,
I think the uniforms
someone should have been definitely on this thing earlier, saying all of this stuff.
Clothing can. I mean, I get no, but clothing. I know we got to go now. But back to that subject. Competition can cause problems with peers. They got those sneakers or they don't. And we were kids. We were people with like beating people up over what was it, Adidas and stuff like that. Like that was crazy. But if they all wearing the same thing, I think most Newark schools now are uniformed. I don't think I think Shabazz is in uniform, right?
You know what?
I know the elementary schools are uniformed.
I know they all kind of wear the khakis with the tops and shirts or whatever, I believe. Yeah, so it is what it is, guys. We are definitely grateful for Miss Shani Stevens being here. Thank you guys on the Facebook.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone from where I'm from, all my friends.
Yes. And
shout
all
out
the
to
people
East
that
Orange,
called.
Montclair,
Thank you. All of my
City.
Ustream feed people. I love you guys. I thank you guys for watching.
Hey, Serenity.
Again, it's just been a pleasure, and we have to get up out of here. But you guys, I'm back tomorrow. Be here. Devious Fridays. Y'all already know. GS Radio North. Devious Fridays inside the Champagne Room. Always. Oh, and tomorrow's going to be a super special time because Devious Fridays is starting at 7. So he's on from 7 to 9 tomorrow. So he has a 2-hour special going on. I just want to know who he's bringing on here. I can't tell you guys. You have to be here to watch to see who the surprise guests are and what's going on here on the Champagne Room Radio Show.
Hey, Alex. Hey,
on
Tanisha. Shout out to all my friends from Immaculate. I see y'all.
So I'm about to be out of here, and Shani,
hey,
you can
Pastor
wave
Alex,
at the camera and say bye to the people.
Peace and blessings and good night.
That camera.
Oh. Everybody's up here now. Hey, Niche.
Everybody's on now, but we have to go. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening again.
One love, as they used to say.
And it's always, you said what?
One love.
Absolutely. And
I'm gonna go old school, but it's time to transform and roll out.
Definitely old school. I'm out of here, guys. I'm out of here.
Hey, Kim.
Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Love y'all. Good night. Thanks for listening.
Yes.
And thanks for everyone who supported the film.
Hey, yo, what's good, man? Cigar Rock here, man. Chillin', man. Yo, watching Champagne.
What's up, yo? This is Big Meth right here. And y'all watching Champagne.
Jerv, stand up. It's your boy Sheik Looch, Yellow X, D-Block, man.
Champagne TV, you already know. I'm gonna be hosting like game shows and shit on that shit.
What's up? This is your girl, Digga, birth name Rashia, and you are watching Champagne.
This is Redman, I'm in the building, you already know. Shout out to the Champagne Room Radio Show, baby.
Y'all, this is Can't Go Kid from legendary rap group UTFO. And what you're doing right now is you're checking out the Champagne Room Radio Show. You heard? Yo, this your boy Chris Rock from the old 50 War. And when I'm out chilling, I'm chilling at the Champagne Room Radio with Tanya Champagne, getting it in Brick City style.
Yeah, what's up? This Trigger Trench here, nip, Naughty Nation, Naughty by Nature doing it. Yo, you better check out the Champagne Room, cause we doing over my mama T. Yo, it's gonna be real on and popping, yo. Ask somebody, yo. Can't take you nowhere, that's why I take your ass everywhere. Tune in.
Welcome to the Champagne Room. Relax, I got you. Have you ever closed your eyes and gone to a special place in your mind? Can I take you there? Relax, let down your guard, unwind. It's been a long day and I know you deserve to feel good. So let's sip some champagne and take away the day before I make you feel like you should. Baby, I just wanna welcome you, welcome you. Baby, I just wanna welcome you to the Champagne Room. Every Thursday from 7 to 9, 7 to 9. I'll be waiting for you, just come inside, come inside. Tonight, we can drink and drive on some red lights. Tonight, we can drink and drive on some red lights. And champagne, champagne, boom, boom. Champagne, champagne, boom, boom.
So the other camera,